A lone eagle soars above a sun-drenched landscape. A majestic queen rides into view, silhouetted against the blaze of a setting sun. Her name was Zenobia, and she would soon become the most powerful woman in the world. But first, a word from our sponsor. Now back to our story. The year is to 67 AD. For decades, the Roman Empire has been in decline. Corrupt leaders, economic instability, and constant warfare have weakened the once mighty civilization. But in the east, far from the turmoil of the Mediterranean, a new power is rising. Zenobia was born in the city of Palmyra in Syria. Back then, the eastern part of the empire was technically under the control of the emperor in Rome, but really it was the local rulers who had the power. When Zenobia was just 14 years old, her father, the king of Palmyra, died. This made her eligible to marry a much older man named Gyawas, the prefect of Syria. He was a career soldier, and together they would rule Palmyra in his place. The couple had two children, a son and a daughter, but tragedy struck when both children died young. Grief-stricken, the queen took up the role of sole ruler. Meanwhile, the Roman emperor in the west heard about this powerful queen in the east, and he was worried. You see, the longer Rome's emperors stayed in power, the weaker they got. And he knew that if Zenobia wanted to, she could easily declare independence. So to secure his hold on the eastern provinces, he decided to send his best general to marry Zenobia's daughter. It was a bold strategy, and it worked. The marriage between Julia Maesa and her cousin Julia Maesa secured an alliance between Rome and Palmyra. However, the emperor had no idea that these two women secretly hated each other. Into 70 AD, Odenathus died, and according to custom, his widow Zenobia became the regent for her son, the new king of Palmyra. Now that she was in complete control, she began expanding her kingdom. First, she defeated the forces of the Sasanian Empire to the east. Then she turned her attention to the south, where she conquered Egypt. There she minted coins bearing her own image, and she even established a new capital at the ancient city of Petra. To the north, she fought against the kingdom of Armenia, and though she didn't conquer any new territory, she secured her eastern border. Finally, she marched into Anatolia and laid siege to the important city of Antioch. By the end of her reign, Zenobia's empire stretched all the way from the Persian Gulf to the Aegean Sea. It was the largest contiguous Roman province since the days of Augustus. And all the while, she maintained friendly relations with the other non-Roman states in her vicinity, including the Sasanian Empire. But her greatest achievement wasn't military, it was cultural. You see, Zenobia was a lover of Greek philosophy, and she invited scholars from all over the known world to come to Palmyra and share their knowledge. She herself was fluent in 5 languages, including Greek, Latin, Aramaic, and Egyptian. However, as Zenobia's power grew, so did her enemies' hatred. The Roman emperor in the west saw her as a dangerous rebel, and he wanted her dead, so he sent his best general, Aurelian, to put down her rebellion. At the siege of Emesa, Aurelian's forces defeated and killed Zenobia's son. The following year, he laid siege to Palmyra itself, but the city's defenders were able to repel his attacks. However, as the siege dragged on, food became scarce and the citizens grew desperate. In the end, Zenobia surrendered and agreed to meet Aurelian in person, according to legend. The two leaders met in the ruins of Palmyra. The terms of surrender gave her nobility and allowed her to keep her fortune. She spent her remaining days running a casino and brothel. Other historians believe that she was executed on the orders of Aurelian. So the big question is, was Zenobia a hero or a rebel? Let us know your thoughts below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more epic historical tales.